Alright, a very good evening or otherwise time-appropriate greetings to you folks here on SpeedGaming 4. Welcome to the next race in the Metroid Prime Randomizer 2021 tournament. We got a good one for you folks. Today we've got a battle of the veterans. We've got DiggleWrath and awp82. Both are 3-1, and they will be showing their skills for you here tonight. I'm Captain MD13, and tonight our race is being tracked by the wonderful Lenifus, and we hope to bring you another good seed. Now we should stress that Diggle did not make this. I believe our seeds this week are being generated by Reed Whaley. Looks like we have just been given the green light in the race time room. There are no runner's agreements tonight, so we will have a standard start, charge beam already installed, landing site start, no special elevators. We are just waiting for the restream to catch up for you folks. Now, the last two races in a row that I've called ended up being phase-on suit hunts, so I'm sincerely hoping that that is not the case this time around. Although, if we do have to phase-on suit hunt, let it not be like a hard last location behind a late plasma beam. But enough about that. We will get started in this race right now. Alright, both runners are going to do the good old space jump first strat here. And like clockwork, both runners already picking up their item in alcove, which is Morph Ball. And which means we get a free item under the ship here, which is a missile. Yep. Not the missile launcher, but still the ability to fire missiles. Diggle electing to take the missile immediately to Frigate Crash Site before too long goes by, with Awp appearing to follow suit here. We've seen Frigate Crash Site assume significant importance in these last few races. It doesn't take much to put this in logic, although just Morph Ball and missiles is not enough, I don't think. But it gives them both X-ray visor, which I don't think Awp is going to skip after discovering this. And Awp elects to go for the underwater single slope jump and nails it first try. Well done. Yeah, there's a reason why Awp and Diggle are seated 11th and 12th respectively right now in the tournament, and they are both 3-1. Again, they are both amazing runners. And so far we're seeing a good example of that, as both have gotten X-ray visor with very low movement capabilities. And we're going to see Diggle being our first runner to reach the Artifact Temple, so she will retrieve the 6 hints, assuming, of course, there's not just an artifact chilling under the totem. Which it is not. It is glowing like a Christmas tree. That is our main power bombs. Could you imagine that totem being the Christmas tree of the Chozo? Except I'm not sure what the star on top would be. Alright. We're probably not going to see hints from Diggle right away. She has mentioned repeatedly that she prefers to check hints once a choice is available to be made. Right now, there is really not much in the way of routing choices available. It's either go check Transport Tunnel B or go straight to Chozo. Take your pick. Metroid Prime took the star. That's the plot of the game, right? Can you use power bombs before bombs in Prime 1? Yes, you can. And it looks like Transport Tunnel B is the first stop on DiggleWrath's list. Again, making sure that absolutely no stone is left unturned before going to Chozo, just in case something useful like Space Jump or Boost Ball shows up. Anytime you can get extra items in Main Plaza, it's always a plus. But it is a missile expansion right now, so awp is going to be retrieving that right behind Diggle, as she will be our first runner to Chozo. With power bombs in tow, we actually do get an item in Ruined Shrine, as well as the Morph Ball item itself, both in logic courtesy of Morph Ball and missiles. Although we don't have the actual missile launcher, so missile launcher is either... Actually, missile launcher is probably chilling on Hive Mecha. Now, that early X-ray visor actually makes me suspect Root Cave, because we've had a couple of circumstances where the game has just been screaming early Root Cave. Couldn't tell if that was a suit or nothing on Grapple Ledge. And can't see... Oh, Half Pipe is missiles, and Vault Ledge appears to be missiles as well. So not much else we can do besides go straight to Hive Mecha and pick up what is most likely to include Super Missiles, because let's not kid ourselves, that Super Missiles tend to be on the path to Hive Mecha a lot more often lately. I rest my case. But that's Main Plaza Tree in logic. And what is that up on the Rune Shrine? Is that an energy tank, or is that... Yeah, it's an energy tank. But there is boost on Hive Mecha, so with boost in tow, I believe that means First Logical Missiles is in the Half Pipe, but there is a Varia suit in the Rune Shrine bomb wall. Unfortunately, without space or boost, awp is going to have to come back to retrieve the upper item. Diggle, on the other hand, will be able to clear the place in one fell swoop. We're going to get a vault check from Diggle. And it includes another Powerbomb expansion, 1 of 4. And, yep, looks like Diggle's next stop will be the tree. Grab that next item there. And that definitely is a nothing item up in Grapple Ledge. And we get Space Jump in the tree. To answer your question in chat, only the main launchers are accounted for logic. The logic expects you to pick up the mains before expansions under all circumstances at the moment. Furthermore, this means that since expansions cannot currently be counted for in the logic, that Tower of Light, which normally needs 36 missiles, will not have progression under this current set, this current setting. And it looks like there's nothing in the upper Rune Shrine, so awp not immediately missing out on anything, but Diggle electing to take that space jump and most likely go check Root Cave. We may also see this route into a Fiery Shores play. Can Tower of Light have artifacts? No, Tower of Light cannot have any progression whatsoever. Tower Chamber can, but Tower of Light may not. Alright, Op not in any critical need of those power bombs expansions at the moment. Because Tower Chamber can still have progression, you will often see runners check it after, usually a short amount of time after picking up Wave Beam. Because we have had progression in Tower Chamber a few times this tournament. And what does Root Cave have for us? Even more missiles. And Diggle going to be playing a gutsy move here to do Arbor Chamber out of bounds without bombs. This is quite dangerous because should you get stuck here, you are soft-locked. And I think Diggle just has to edge forward a little bit here. And does the out of bounds perfectly. The reward for the trouble, an artifact. Well, it is required, so nice to get the whole neighborhood out of the way now, and Diggle will indeed go to Fiery Shores. And Op, in the meantime, electing to hold position in Chozo, continue towards the Watery Hall neighborhood. Fountain has, that looked like Ice Spreader, I want to say. So I don't think runners are going to be getting that. I thought for a minute it was Boost, but I think it was a little too gray, so I think it's Ice Spread. And Upper Fiery Shores has a second energy tank, which Diggle will not say no to. With Space Jump and Power Bombs, a short tunnel check is inevitable. And it's more missiles. And there is Grapple Beam from Op in the Watery Hall access, which does put Root Cave into logic, courtesy of X-Ray and Space Jump as well. But again, we know there's nothing... we know that the artifact is an Arbor Chamber. Meanwhile, Diggle progressing through Piston, that sounds like a beeping horn room. Warrior Shrine has for us more missiles. Diggle, this is a soft lock? Okay, Diggle will be attempting the wall boost to get out. So yeah, what Diggle's doing is basically boosting right as she reaches the edge of the wall, in order to have the boost ball momentum carry her upwards in the short amount of time that you are given to do so. Definitely a calculated play by the looks of it, but Op finds a second artifact in Watery Hall. And sunken below is another missile expansion. Grapple is actually worse in Prime 1 because literally every check can be done without it. That Grapple normally would require. But yeah, Diggle is attempting... this wall boost is a very difficult wall boost because your trajectory can either A, you could boost too high, but there Diggle goes. She is out of Fiery Shores. And I think that's going to be... Oh, nope, she is electing to go all the way to Lava Lake, which I do believe is in logic with main power bombs. Op, in the meanwhile, appears to be on the path to Zoid. And Spider Ball in Triclops Pit. I do believe that gives us... Actually, no, that doesn't give us Workstation. We kind of need Wave Beam still for that. Vanilla Ice Spreader had a missile expansion, to answer your question, chat. And yeah, Op is electing to dive Zoid without bombs. I'm not sure if he saved in Gathering Hall. I want to say he did. But yeah, with main power bombs, it is possible to see bombs in Lava Lake with this logic, but you would have to go through the back. And have no defense against Triclops. Storage Cavern was indeed a missile. And Lava Lake itself has an energy tank. We could be looking at vanilla bombs here. Op might be getting a bit lucky here. Because I'm just trying to think where else any progression could be. Alright, Zoid goes down and gives us vanilla bombs. Wow, a very lucky break for awp82. As the path to Lava Lake was entirely possible to have bombs, but, you know, Diggle may have not made this, but, this would be a seed already worthy of her praise for sure. Strap yourselves in, folks. Here we go. We got all ball upgrades at the 15-minute mark. And with this equipment, Magma Pool is currently in logic as well. And we actually pretty much have access to all the way to Front Fendrana as well. So there's a few options available to our runners. Interestingly, we have not seen any hints checks from our runners. With all this equipment, Upper Furnace is in logic, which does really help in case this is progression. Like, right now, I think Op would not mind if Upper Furnace was Ice Beam. But it looks like he is electing to not pick it up yet. Would rather have Spider Ball first. Which is going to have to go back to Triclops Pit to retrieve. And we are getting the Magma Pool check from DiggleWrath. Does the Scan Dash, and is rewarded with a Power Bomb expansion. For a minute, I seriously thought that was another Morph Ball Bomb placement, in which case I would have raised a lot of eyebrows. Alright, Op has safety saved once again in Gathering Hall. Has those bombs preserved now. And it looks like Diggle's now heading in the direction of Watery Hall, which will net her an artifact and allow her to check Upper Dynamo in one fell swoop. Our runners high five. Diggle's probably thinking, where was that grapple beam when I needed it 2 minutes ago? We have not seen artifact hints yet. Usually, runners, these two especially, have mentioned that they prefer to wait to check artifact hints until there's reason to split. Right now, the seed is pretty much screaming at them, stay here in Chozo. I take that back. The seed is screaming, bounce your way back and forth between Magmor and Chozo. Because that Spider Ball was locking Plasma Beam in Upper Dynamo. That puts the Arbor Chamber artifact in logic. But plasma is actually a pretty big indicator that it might not be a bad idea to start thinking about Phendrana. We can clear a lot of things in Phendrana now, courtesy of Plasma Beam. It opens up Chozo Ice Temple, it opens up Ice Ruins West, it opens up Ice Ruins East, and it opens up Phendrana Shoreline's Ice. Unfortunately, to do so, Diggle will have to get, Diggle will still have to get bombs off of Zoid. Op, on the other hand, is heading in the direction of Spider Ball. Now, whether that persuades him to return to Chozo is another matter. Unlikely, I would say. Given that Upper Dynamo is only one check. So we're not too energy-starved this seed. 4 energy tanks before Phendrana is generally pretty safe. So yeah, despite Diggle being late for, a little late to bombs here, she does have a pretty big advantage right now in that early Plasma Beam. Not just for the ability to check extra stuff in Phendrana, but the offensive upgrade that Plasma provides on top of it. And that's Spider Ball for Op. He is now choosing to go grab those missiles out of Storage Cavern. I almost said Storage Cave, not gonna lie. Alrighty, so now we're going to see a bit of a moment of truth here for Op. Will he choose to continue through Magmore or turn around and finish off Chozo with Spider Ball? Because he was in the Furnace neighborhood before, but chose not to go dip Upper Furnace without Spider Ball. And it looks like he's going to Monitor Station for now. He may still turn around and go out after Fiery Shores, but there's also nothing stopping off from checking a few things in early Phendrana through Transport Tunnel A. And there's Diggle's Vanilla Bombs. Probably not too happy about it. Is electing to do a wall boost out of pettiness towards Zoid. Alright, Transport Tunnel A is up next. This is often also been a hotspot for progression, if you'll pardon the area pun, but not tonight, it is a missile. Alright, Op's going to clear out Warrior Shrine and Fiery Shores, and we'll see what he chooses to do next here. Whether or not he chooses to go back up to Root Cave and Arbor Chamber, and then back into Chozo, or whether he chooses to go into Phendrana instead. Tower Chamber is still off the table until we find Wave Beam. So they can't check that yet. They can check Flagra and Ghosts, since they've got Supers and Spider. Up top in Furnace, we have... I want to say that was an energy tank, because Diggle's not going for it. And at this point, energy is pretty much a non-issue. And Op is indeed diving out of Magmor via Fiery Shores, so we will see where this takes him. Diggle, on the other hand, is... this could be a save warp. And indeed it is. A save, then a warp. And Diggle being a little slow with the save warp because, as she has stated in some past races, warping to start is apparently a hyper mode trick. And yeah, saving before the warp to prevent a potential crash on warp to start. We've seen it happen a few times this tournament. But with this equipment, Op is going to just go ahead and run straight to get Arbor Chamber and Root Cave, and perhaps the Arbor Chamber artifact will persuade Op to check hints. We'll see. Both can go to where Vanilla X-Ray is. They cannot because they do not have Ice Beam to access the Great Tree area. Once they do find Ice Beam, they can get there through Farchozo. Actually, we already have a tremendously large amount of equipment. You know, beams notwithstanding, we already have... basically, the only 4 unique progression gating items are Wave, Ice, Gravity, and Phazon. So we've actually got a good chunk of items here for 25 minutes in. And Op is choosing to go right back, is chosen not to go to do the Arbor Chamber out of bounds. It is instead heading to, looks like this is going to be a Phendrana play. Without Plasma Beam, this is going to leave a few checks off the table for Op as he makes his way through. Although, a pretty big alarm bell for Op will be if Wave Beam is spotted behind Ice, because Wave gates out a very large amount of Phendrana. And the rest of the game, for that matter. Op is getting bullied by turrets. A lot. But suddenly our runners are going to be kind of holding hands a little bit here. Both dipping early Phendrana. The Lighthouse in play for both runners. And, wow, the first iced item is an artifact, and that's Diggle's cue. It might be a good idea to check hints. The last 3, Antechamber, Ice Ruins West, and Ice Ruins East. Wow, Antechamber is only locked by Ice Beam, and then we're in artifacts, we're all good for artifacts. We've had a few seeds that have been, like, the artifacts have been shockingly free. Looks like Diggle is not interested in the lighthouse item, so it must have not been important. Well, folks, looks like we're probably going to have a Phazon suit hunt again tonight. But we are also looking for Ice and Wave. We're going to get an Ice Temple check here. So the 3 artifacts we have left... oh, okay, both of the Ice Ruins artifacts are plasma locked. So we've got Ice Ruins East, Ice Ruins West, and Antechamber, which is Vanilla Ice Beam. So they need Ice Beam to get out, but that's it. That's literally all they need. And if they really wanted to, there is a trick you can do, and we may see Diggle do this in Chapel of the Elders, depending on what's here. But there's a trick you can do by power bombing the dwarf. Is that actually... Hold on, what is that? Well, whatever it is, Diggle is doing the power bomb trick to get... It is a Vanilla Wave Beam! Okay, so we've had Vanilla Bombs, Vanilla Wave Beam. Is this even randomized? So we are looking for Ice Beam and Phazon Suit for Go mode, and neither of which appears to be in... Oops. Op getting bullied again by enemies. And it looks like there's nothing in Phendrana Canyon tonight. Yeah, Diggle might have not been sure which beam, but now what Diggle did do was use a power bomb to essentially bust the door open from the blue side so that it would do exactly... well, I think Diggle did it correctly, but I'm not 100% sure. But if you power bomb the door from the blue side, you can have it open once you approach it from the wave side. That way you can still get out without wave beam in the event that it's not wave and you're soft locked normally. Alright, Ice Ruins West having another artifact. So yeah, that's 3 out of all... half of the artifacts were encased in ice. And another one requires ice. Is in vanilla ice. Yeah, the artifacts just froze over today. I mean, I really can't explain that any further. Alright, this is going to be artifact number 4 for Diggle. I'm trying to think what the 2 artifacts Diggle still needs. It's... oh yeah, it's Ice Ruins West and Anti-Chamber. So... the good news is Ice Beam can't be too many places. Unfortunately, Phazon Suit can be just about anywhere. Now the question is going to be, what does Diggle do next after picking this up, Ice Ruins West, and checking Canyon? Does she go to Labs, which is perfectly in play with all this equipment, or will she do something? Labs is probably the better idea right now. There's not really a whole lot you can do in Farchozo without Ice Beam, and with Boost, you can just go straight all the way to Research Core. Although, no ice before Research Core will be a minor inconvenience for getting back out. We see chat wanting a vanilla Phazon. Well, again, considering we've already had vanilla bombs and vanilla wave. Oh, I think Op's power bomb went a little too late there. Yeah, it looks like Op's power bombs are being laid without the Sheegoth being in a vulnerable state. So Op is improvising with bombs. We're getting a Ruined Courtyard check now from Diggle, and it contains even more missiles. Now, with Wave in tow, Op is probably going to check Labs as well, just due to the dense number of checks available. Although, if Op does find Ice Beam in Labs, Control Tower specifically, that's going to be a very, very telling clue that Plasma Beam had to show up a little bit earlier. Yeah. Yep, Ice Beam on Thardus is a possibility. We did have a Plasma Beam on Thardus last night, too. TGC Plasma was in Upper Dynamo. Op did not have Spider Ball on the first pass. Yeah, Op's about to get the very bad news that just about all of the remaining artifacts are locked behind beams that he currently does not own. I'm pretty sure Op's not too happy about that Arbor Chamber one, considering he chose to not do the out of bounds. What is that? That is Thermal Visor in Research Lab Hydra. So, yep. Once we get Ice Beam, pretty much the entirety of the world is our oyster, and we're going to be checking the whole game, besides Tower of Light, looking for Phazon Suit. Alright, Diggle attempting the Observatory Dash, and looks like it's missiles up top. Yeah, MPMT. So yeah, the only two places Phazon Suit can currently be right now is Tower of Light and Phazon Mining Tunnel. Now, the real question is going to be if Gravity Suit shows up. And on the subject of Gravity Suit, there it is in the control tower. So Gravity is Plasma Lock, so Ice Beam cannot be... Well, Ice Beam already can't be in Frigate anyway, but Ice Beam cannot be in Gravity Chamber. Yeah, actually, that Gravity Suit really doesn't have that many logical implications, considering that most of the Gravity Suit checks also need Ice Beam anyway. Alright, there is an energy tank down in the bottom of Research Lab Aether with a missile tank up top, but Diggle elects to not pick it up. Meanwhile, Ops Lab's dive has reached Hydra. And that is it. Research Core does not have Ice Beam, so that is the end of the lab's dive for DiggleWrath. Actually, yeah, now Ice, yeah, Gravity Suit doesn't have any logical implications concerning Ice Beam right now. And since we know Plasma's in Upper Dynamo, yeah, Gravity Suit's in Logic anyway. Never mind. I'm getting my logic mixed up. It is late at night already. Diggle has triggered the control tower fight. So, it's going to give Op a minute or two to finish this lab's dive a little faster, but it looks like he's looking for missiles due to a bit of a shortage. Out of bounds will never be expected in the logic, so Ice Beam can basically not be in Frigate for any reason. And yeah, it looks like AWP is definitely trying to refill on missiles here. So I'm trying to think where we go from here for Ice Beam. Frigate is out of play. Mines is out of play because we still don't have Ice Beam to get to any of the elevators. Let's see. What else is in play? Training Chamber access, and Training Chamber itself for that matter. Farfandrana is not in play. That is also ice-locked. Thardus is in play, since we just got Thermal Visor. Nope. We do also have both Flogger checks. And Diggle is thinking, yep, Diggle's heading in the direction of Thardus. Thinking, well, we already had bombs and, vanilla bombs and vanilla wave beam. Sure, why not? Let's see if Thardus has ice. Oh, meanwhile, DiggleWrath tapping into her inner Sonic Genesis there, getting stuck in the tunnel. Oh, and Diggle got the Thardus skip. Well done. Alright, Diggle deciding to burn her last powerbomb on Thardus to skip 2 phases here. I'd like them to go for Plasma Snipes. Certainly a worthy attempt, if Plasma does do extra damage to Thardus. And Charged Plasma travels very fast. And Diggle is saying... Hen low. Alright, so we're gonna see, meanwhile is gonna be busting out of labs. We'll see where he chooses to go next after this, if he chooses to follow towards Thardus. Ooh, looks like Thardus decided to roll a little early, but Diggle got the snipe. Well done. Incoming, but I think Diggle got the plasma shot. Very, indeed she did. Yeah, Diggle is currently making mincemeat out of Thardus. Meanwhile, alright, so Diggle is currently asking how? Diggle is currently asking, how are you? I think. But, alright, AWP is almost out of labs now. Just passing through Hydra. Alrighty, let's see if our Go Mode Ice Beam, well, not Go Mode Ice Beam, but if our Phazon Suit Hunt starting Ice Beam is just chilling on Thardus. No, it is not. I am disappointed. Oh, and I think awp has got the same idea to check, at the very least, quarantine monitor. But Diggle's gonna go ahead and take this equipment to the workstation elevator and check workstation. There's, again, there's not a whole lot of places Ice Beam can be right now. It can be in workstation. It can't be in, again, it can't be in mines. It can't be in frigate. We've got both flogger checks. Yeah, there's a few early game checks and that we can still do, but not a whole lot else. Alright, in workstation we have more missiles. And it looks like Diggle's heading back, probably for a warp to start out of the save station. Not really anything else she can do here. Meanwhile, awp on the Thardus fight, and Thardus already down to 2/3 health, so awp also not wasting any time here on Thardus. However, awp does have an extra power bomb, which will make the final phase a little faster. Plasma processing cannot have Ice Beam due to needing ice to get in. Excuse me for a minute, folks. Alright, so Diggle has indeed warped to start and is heading back towards Chozo. This does seem like the right place to be right now, given that Phendrana is basically fully cleared out. Same with Magmor as far as everything that's not ice-locked. Meanwhile, electing to use the abundance of missiles that he farmed for back in last to have a little less of a trouble with Thardus. And we'll be able to just skip the last phase courtesy of this final power bomb. Alright, meanwhile, back in Chozo Part 2, we are going to start with a tower chamber check. And awp, on the other hand, about to get the disappointing news, Thardus was a missile. Oh, and the door closed on Diggle. So... Alright, so we've got both Flogra checks, we've got both training chamber checks. I want to say that's pretty much it. I certainly can't think of any place else that might have been left behind. We saw Gallery. We know Nursery was a energy tank. Yeah, unfortunately, the only two things to come out of labs so far were Thermal Visor and Gravity Suit, which the only thing we can get, the only real thing that helps for is for putting Frigate in Logic, but not until we get Ice Beam. But let's see where Diggle chooses to go here. This looks like a play to reverse Flogra. Certainly a lot less troublesome than going through the front. And yes, we do apologize to the folks at home and for those watching the VOD. We are having some technical difficulties with the tracker software, so the tracker won't be updating for a little bit. In the meantime, Diggle traveling up towards Sun Chamber. So yeah, doing Flogger and Ghost backwards right now does seem like the better play. So we'll see if Diggle elects to set up the for a double power bomb impact here, and that looks like that's what she is doing. So with a precision power bomb here, she'll be able to take out 2 of the bomb slots here in the same frame. I don't know if that caught them both. I can't see that back. I think it did. Alright, so Diggle nailed the first power bomb. Now she will attempt to lay the second. And it looks like Diggle got the double impact once again, and that's a dead plant. Alright, now awp is also back in Chozo, so this could work out in his favor. Once he gets to Upper Dynamo, he will retrieve Plasma Beam. And I did not see what was on Flogra. Wasn't paying attention. My apologies, but we'll see in a second. Alright, missiles in Training Chamber access, and Training Chamber itself has more missiles. Flogra has an E-Tank, so we are down to ghosts. So it's looking like Ghost is going to have Ice Beam. Did we see Crossway? No, we did not. And I think Crossway is in play with this equipment. The only thing we need is after Furnace's boost. Upper Furnace has been checked already. So yeah, if it's not on Ghosts, it's in Crossway. Diggle, I am very sure, I'm sure is very happy to be dealing with Ghosts with Supers and X-Ray. And there is Ice Beam on the Chozo Ghosts of Sun Chamber. So with this, Phazon Suit can literally be anywhere. Have fun! Well, except PMT and Tower of Light, but you get the idea. Have fun! So, with this, and assuming awp does in fact go back for Plasma Beam, suddenly, folks, it just becomes a matter of which runner zigs and which runner zags. And which one of those yields Phazon Suit. Now, from awp's and he does have to go back and get all of the frozen artifacts back in Phendrana, because there were 3 frozen artifacts back in early Phendrana. And also has to go back for Arbor Chamber as well. Alright, Diggle's gonna go ahead and clear out the training chamber neighborhood, while Alp is heading to, I think this is also a reverse, I think this is also a reverse Flog replay from Alp. Alright, and we do have our tracker back. Thank you folks for your patience as we got that sorted out. To answer your question, chat, Ice Beam was on Sun Chamber Ghosts. So, not a great spot, but also given that it was Ice Beam and that by this point the rest of the world was gated off, it wasn't the absolute worst. Unfortunately, we now have all of the tools to check every other possible non-Phazon mining tunnel check for Phazon suit. And it does appear that Diggle's next stop will be Far Chozo. It's going to start with a crossway check here. Far Chozo includes Crossway, Hall of the Elders, Elder Chamber, that looks like an energy tank in Crossway, and Antechamber. And, in my mind, Upper Furnace is also considered Far Chozo. Alright, looks like Op got both power bombs as well, so instant dead plant on his end too. Shouldn't be too long before Op retrieves Ice Beam. So, from a routing perspective, the seed is actually looking pretty clean from a routing for routing, since from here you can basically just go to. You can honestly go to Frigate Crash Site, go through Frigate, through the Overgrown Cavern elevator, and just check all of Frigate, check Great Tree and Life Grove on the way before going to Mines, and just clear the entirety of that area out. So it's really up to you how you want to do this if you're in the runner's positions. Alright, Diggle checking Elder Chamber now. And Op's next stop is Ghosts. Yeah, another thing that gave Diggle a bit of a leg up here, besides just the plasma routing, is because of plasma so early, it did give her an offensive advantage, so fights haven't been nearly as long. Unfortunately, nothing but missiles in Elder Chamber, so that's about it for Far Chozo. We just know that Antechamber has artifact number 6, but it looks like Diggle is going to be attempting a multi-bomb jump in order to reach the upper area without triggering the wave switch, which can't be triggered anyway until you reload the room since Elder Chamber's already been checked. And gets its second try. Well done. Oh, I appear to have frozen. Looks like you folks at home are seeing the same thing, so it's not just me.
Yep, it's not just you.
Oh dear. Well, hold tight, folks. We'll get this sorted out for you in just a minute. In the meantime, the good news is we have a couple of minutes to get this sorted out, and we kind of have an idea of what's going to be happening. Since the only thing in Antechamber right now is we know Antechamber is an artifact, so it's safe to assume that within the next 30 seconds or so, Diggle, if she hasn't already, will have retrieved all 6 artifacts. After which point, it's really a toss-up of where you want to go. If you are going for density, you're probably going to see a Diggle in Life Grove, just because it's 3 plus Great Tree Chamber, 4 relatively easy checks. We might even see a bar skip, if Diggle is not interested in going to Frigate at all. Alternatively, she will go out the Overgrown Cavern elevator and just do Frigate from the front with all equipment. We'll see how that plays out as we go along. All right, I'm going to improvise in the meantime, and I'm going to pull up. Diggle and I'm going to pull up Diggle and Op streams. So that way I can at least get a partial idea of what's going on. Alright, here we go. So Diggle is appearing to be doing... Looks like Diggle is going reverse frigate. Is this reverse frigate or forward frigate? This is actually forward frigate, I take... Oh no, it is reverse frigate. It is reverse frigate. She is now in biohazard containment, while Op is finishing up... is doing Farchozo without Plasma Beam. Now, granted, Elder Chamber does not have any progression, so he's not missing out at the moment. And Biohazard Containment has nothing. Oh, stand by, folks. We are getting audio back up. The stream might actually be fast-forwarding a bit to catch up here, so... Oh. Yep, we're getting there, folks. Hang tight. All right. Alt, meanwhile, has finished the Farchozo dive and is heading down to... let's see. Is this a Great Tree play? It's either a Great Tree or Overgrown Cavern, but he took one of the Farchozo elevators. Meanwhile, next stop is, for Diggle, it looks like Cargo Freight Lift didn't have anything. Oh, and we are back, folks. Alright, thank you folks for your patience while we got that all sorted out. So it looks like Diggle's next stop is probably going to be Life Grove. Just do bar skip skip, get out through there. Alt, meanwhile, is doing the Overgrown Cavern play. And it has nothing. I think. Yep, nothing. Alright, so Diggle is electing to go straight to mines. I wonder if she's already, done Life Grove while we had the freeze earlier. We're just getting you synced up. Stand by. There you go. Oh, and it looks like chat's confirming that, yeah, Diggle got nothing of significance in Life Grove, just extra missiles. Which, 100 missiles now is pretty solid for going into mines and for final bosses. But yep, now it's time to basically full clear mines looking for Phazon's suit. After mines, you know, if Phazon is not here, it could either be in Farfandrana, or it can be in plasma processing. Just trying to think if anything else that immediately comes to mind, and I think I've covered all the bases here. Looks like some more E up top in main quarry. But with 7 E-tanks in tow, Diggle will not be picking that up. Yeah, both runners are definitely safe on E-tanks for the entire rest of this seed. Unfortunately, awp decided to not go back for Dynamo after Farchozo, so he's still missing out on Plasma Beam. And I think... was that Wavebuster or Flame? It's Wavebuster. That was definitely not orangey enough to be Flamethrower. Bummer. We could have had a Vanilla Flamethrower here on top of a Vanilla Morph Ball Bombs and Vanilla Wave Beam this seed. Alright, her next stop is going to be... I believe this is going to be Elite Research. I always get my early mines mixed up a little bit, but yeah, it is Elite Research. I mean, a Vanilla Phazon suit would be nice, because I don't think we've had, at least I haven't seen a Vanilla Phazon suit yet in the races I've called. And there have been some crazy races in these 5 rounds of Swiss so far. Oh, there's Powerbomb expansion number 3, question mark, that I want to say we found? Yeah, because 2 was Magma Pool. 1 was, someplace nice. Can Wavebuster be vanilla? Yes, it could be vanilla. Nope, Calvin just dodged a Super Missile. Well, the first time. There's something in that. There's a suit texture, but I don't know if it's actually Phazon or a nothing. It is really hard to see with X-Ray. Yeah, Diggle's not taking any chances in checking it. And upper elite research is phase on suit. Diggle is in go mode at 108.51. That is it. And she already has all 6 artifacts, so now it's just a matter of yeeting to main quarry to save warp out. Yeah, that phase on suit could have been in a lot of worse spots right now. But, yeah, from the looks of things, this is going to be closer to a 90-minute seed. So yeah, it is very much Diggle's race to lose at this point. But in the meantime, and with boost, Ridley will also not be too much trouble. No other beam combos though tonight, given that Ice Spreader was in Ruined Fountain. So technically, Ruined Fountain was behind is behind Flogra in this actually, I think Standable plus Spider might allow you to skip Flogra in this logic, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Alright, so Diggle has got all her ammo and weapons replenished, so she's going to be our first 2 final bosses at just past the 1 hour 10 minute mark. So I would argue that, you know, I wouldn't call this a jet seed, but this was still pretty fast. All things considering, where the progression was. Certainly all the early ball upgrades were a pretty interesting turn of events. And Omp's going to be clearing out the rest of Upper Mines now. He is going to get phase on suit before, and I didn't even realize there was another nothing in security access, eh? So it looks like Op is going to end up getting phase on suit before Plasma, although he may end up going down all the way to MQA looking for Plasma. Oh, come on, Grapple Beam. There we go. Alright, Diggle gets the boost ball impact, 50,000 damage later, and Meta Ridley is down to final phase. Alright, RNG playing nice to Diggle so far. Although, if I recall correctly, Ridley's not actually, like, super random. I've had folks correct me on that before, so I am not screwing that up again. Although, unfortunately, now Diggle has finally started getting charged right at the end here, but does get a lucky missile in right before the end of the roar. And that is going to do it for Ridley on DiggleWrath's screen. See you in Prime 3, Ridley. Although, admittedly, the skydiving sequence is pretty fun. Alright, Storage Depot B only has an energy tank. Alright, Diggle electing to use a save station for the scan dash. And we'll see how she goes with the impact crater climb. Plenty of different ways to climb up. Also, plenty of different ways to fall down if Jack and Jill have their way. Oh, yep, Jack and Jill are both in position to pester Diggle here. But awp is in the right place to go pick up Phazon suit. And yeah, with this equipment, no ice spreader, but still Exo shouldn't be too much trouble for Diggle. So yeah, the big break for Diggle definitely was going for Spider Ball early before dipping Watery Hall. That definitely, just allowing her to pick up Plasma, pretty much sealed the deal here. It looks like Diggle is going for the close combat manipulation for the moment. Taking advantage of 1.5 times damage for Ice Beam. Trying to get a couple of extra snipes in along the way. Succeeds. Gets a phase skip on top of it with 2 charged ice shots. Well done. Still, all things considering, though, since you needed to go back from Triclops Pit to get Plasma, that's probably the most trolly part of the seed, I would say. Alright, Diggle now halfway down for Exo, while awp proceeds lower into Mines. If nothing else, we might get to see the Central Dynamo Maze. And there's nothing in the Elite Control access. Phazon was not on OP. Phazon was in Upper Elite Research. Alright, Diggle got another charge snipe in. And Diggle is making mincemeat of this sub-chamber fort here as awp takes out the Elite. Gonna get a PPC check now from awp. And it looks like more missiles. But Diggle, on the other hand, is down to the Essence fight. And with all visors, this should be pretty much a done deal. And that looks like missiles in vent shaft. Alright, so right now, Essence is in a very bad spot, but Diggle is trying to... Diggle got the attack cancels, but delayed a couple of them just to see if Essence would make a move, and she did, so... got the second pool, no problem. Position looks good for pool number 3. Kind of tough to see with this camera angle. Up is going straight past the central dynamo maze, looks like. Alright, and now she's going to start doing the pool cancels. Try and get some extra dents on Essence through the fact that the first shot, like, basically doesn't drain the pool as fast. And that's gonna do it. DiggleWrath finishes this race in first place with an official race time GG time of, checks notes, 1:20:19, and indeed Leno has issued a dot forfeit and will not be finishing. Hopefully we will get both runners in this race booth in a minute. Op, welcome to the booth and GG's. So, do you want us to tell you where Plasma was? Alright, Op's just having a quick audio hiccup. We'll get that sorted out in a second. In the meantime, we are joined in the booth by Diggle. GG to you and congratulations.
Hello, thank you very much.
So what are your thoughts on the seed?
Pretty good. Ice Beam on Sun Chamber Ghost aside. Pretty decent.
Yeah, honestly, probably the trolliest part of the whole seed was... If I had to really say the trolliest part, it was probably Plasma Beam.
Where was that again?
It was in Upper Dynamo, which needed a Triclops pit dive to go retrieve Spider. But your decision to go to Fiery Shores before bombs gave you Spider Ball in time to make your Watery Hall dive and clear out Dynamo in one fell swoop, which let you pick up Plasma, despite being a tad bit late to Vanilla Bombs.
Yeah, all right. And Vanilla Wave as well. That was pretty good. But yeah, I figured that I would probably find bombs, and if I didn't, I had main PBs to just go through Lava Lake. So I'd essentially be dropped off roughly where I wanted to be in Chozo. So I just went ahead and did the Magmore dive.
Yeah, we did see you do a couple of wall boosts for Fiery Shores and a couple of times to try to give some vengeance on Zoid.
I can't believe I got... Hey, there you are.
Alright, I don't know what was up with Discord.
Technology is amazing. Yeah, GG.
So where was it?
Upper Dynamo was Plasma Beam. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Probably the trolliest part of the entire seed, if I'm going to be honest with you.
I forgot all about it. I walked right past it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Between the two of you, though, it was a pretty even battle in terms of movement. You were both having no trouble getting through Findrana, getting Observatory Dash. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a restream hiccup while you... it was around the time, Diggle, you were finishing up Frigate, and Op, you were almost heading in that direction as well. But by the time we did come back, you were both practically all done with those, so that should attest to you two having no trouble with movement tonight.
Nothing interesting in Frigate, of course.
No, there wasn't anything in Frigate. Life Grove was also, like, loads of missiles. And Diggle, actually, we're going to see in your credits if that was Wavebuster and Storage Depot A.
There was nothing else it could be. My spreader was in Rune Fountain.
Mm-hmm. And I'm guessing we never. Well, we're gonna see it in the credits here, where Flamethrower was chilling at.
I picked it up. I picked
Oh,
it. Oh, you must have missed that. It was in Great Tree Chamber.
oh, yep. That's when we froze.
Oh no.
Which is a bit unfortunate, but we are glad to hear that you did in fact pick it up.
I literally did a double take. I looked in Great Tree Chamber, started leaving, then I realized, wait, that's Flamethrower. I'm obligated to pick this up.
Shoutouts to Super Missiles being right on the path to Hive Mecha again.
Yeah.
It's been happening an alarmingly large number of times, about as alarmingly frequent as Phazon Mining Tunnel was required in the 2 weeks prior to this one.
Yeah, Randovania really likes to stick things in the tree.
Yeah, it had Space Jump today, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Nice. Oh, never mind. I looked at the restream for a split second, and I thought your in-game time was an hour flat.
Oh, no.
But yeah, between the two of you otherwise, there really isn't much else to say besides, yeah, just the, shoutouts to also, like, almost all of the artifacts being encased in ice or behind ice, in Antechamber's case.
That was only half of them. I picked up half the artifact before I found Ice Beam. But yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah,
I will say, I thought for sure Thardus was going to have Ice Beam, and then it didn't.
it wasn't too much of a far stretch. You both had pretty good Thardus fights, as well. And you both also nailed the double power bomb reverse Flogra skip.
Oh, nice.
So again, shoutouts to both of you for pulling that off. But yeah, there really isn't a whole lot else to say about this seed. It was by comparison to a lot of the other seeds we've had, not nearly as complex.
Right.
I mean, we're practically in Phazon suit hunt at, not counting the last couple of Ice Beam checks at about 40 minutes in.
Mm-hmm.
I
I really don't have too much to say about this. I've played worse, like two rounds ago.
All right. Well, is there anything else you folks would like to say before we wrap up tonight?
Follow up and Captain Ann Lenofis.
Upper Dynamo. Why? Why did I forget?
It's an easy check to forget, unfortunately.
Yeah, Upper Dynamo's been a frequent. Upper Dynamo, as well as another check that's been, well, not for you two, but another check that's been an interesting late arrival for some folks is Frigate Crash Site, or at least it was in the last couple of weeks. This week, it seems everybody's been checking it almost right away. But you two both checked
got
it.
to do a third check.
Yeah, you both made a third check. Well, folks, we are not done here for randomizer action. Right now on Speed Gaming 3, we should have Speckled Jim versus Sasquatch 954, which has some random two-way elevator shenanigans.
Ooh.
That is being commentated by the wonderful Elias Thompson. And for Saturday's races, we've got another marathon. Well, not really marathon, but we've got 3 races on tap. We've got Reed Whaley versus Haldadrin at 1 p.m. Eastern, followed by RoboScout versus Dino Pony at 3 p.m. Eastern, and then later that evening, Gollop versus Mighty Caesar 37 at 8. And two of the latter 2 matches have a couple of runners' agreements. And the Gollop Mighty Caesar one includes a one-way elevators to anywhere. I think you folks will like that one. And then another pair of matches for Sunday, but we'll cross that bridge later down the road on Saturday. With that said, folks, once again, please follow both of our runners, DiggleWrath and awp82. They have put on a fantastic show for you here on this Friday evening. We also want to thank Letifius, our wonderful tracker, who helped push all the buttons and make sure everybody knows who has what, especially given the technical hiccup we had earlier. And with that said, folks, and again, we have the Prime Randomizer Discord in the chat. If you folks want to get any information about the tournament, the challenge bracket, and all of the Prime Randomizers that are currently available through the Randomania program, that Discord is the place to be. With that said, folks, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your night. We will see you next mission. Take care.
See ya.
Bye-bye.